Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Damien with Damien Pryor and Father and Sons Fishing Channel. Today is Wednesday, March the 29th, 2017. As you know, I had problems with my boat recently, well, with the motor recently. I had issues trying to get the motor started. So I finally got the motor started, got it back running. As you can see, the motor it's very old. As you can see, it's a 1958 Evrinrude sports twin. It's a 10-horse outboard motor, very, very old, but runs very good. As you can see, get a closer look on it. See that? 10-horse, 1977 Ohio. I'm not for sure why that's on there, but it's a 1958 10-horse sports twin Evrinrude outboard. The motor originally, it had what they call a double fuel system, a double fuel system pressurized gas tank, which you had to have like 2 gas lines going from a special gas tank in order to make it run, because the pressure actually acted as a fuel pump. But because this motor, when I bought it, it didn't come with any components, any elements, anything that I could use to get it to run. It came with just the motor. Guy said it's been in the garage for, I think he said 22 years, hadn't been running. So he basically just threw the motor in with the boat. So I did some investigating on my own and found out that in 1958, they didn't make fuel pumps for outboards. So I found a way to take the check valve off and plug one of the check valve cylinders with a black piece of rubber. And I was able to run what they call a Briggs & Stratton fuel pump from a riding lawnmower on this motor in order to make it run. And let me show you what I did here. Just kind of bear with me. Take this off here. I got this strap on here because it's an old motor. Kind of flaps a little bit when I'm riding. So I'm gonna take this off and show you guys the modification that I did. As I said, this is an old, very old motor. I think we open that up. Then we come around to the back and we open this part up and unlatch it. And it opens up. I just recently had this open. Guys gotta kind of bear with me. Oh, here we go. Now, as you can see, there it is right there. This is a fuel pump from off a Briggs & Stratton lawnmower. What I did was I bought the fuel pump at a local warehouse right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I didn't really know if this would actually work. I took a chance. So as you can see, there's 3 ports on this fuel pump. There's one right here, there's one right here, and one right there. Now, the carburetor is right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I had to also get one of these to modify it to a single line fuel system, because the other one actually had a port for 2 fuel lines. And I got a regular gas can hookup with a regular connection on it right here. So you can see that right there. Now, check this out. Again, there is the carburetor. I had to take this off right here, which is the carburetor, the housing, the gasket. And I had to take this piece off right back in here. I removed that, and there's a check valve that sits behind it. I took a piece of black rubber about the size of a penny. Well, I'm sorry, the size of a dime. I plugged that check valve like they told me. Then I ran silicone around one of the tracks and let it dry for approximately 15, 20 minutes. Then I took 3 pieces of hose, PVC, 3/8 PVC hose. I ran one through the air, one to the fuel, and the other to the carburetor. Again, I didn't put regular screws on here because I didn't want it to be too tight and break the plastic on the fuel pump. This is crazy, but it worked. I used tie straps, plastic tie down straps. 1, 2, 3. And these are just to hold it in place. The motor didn't have anywhere for me to mount this one right here to hold these 2 spark plug wires out of the way. So I just put a tie wrap on here. Now, after I got this installed, I looked at it before I literally looked at it for an hour before I even tried to start it. Because I told myself, there is no way this is going to work. No way. So I took my gas line, plugged it into the motor, squeezed the ball several times, and it finally got hard. I have this big blue tub over here. I hope you guys can see this. It's kind of dirty in my garage. I bought that tub for 10 bucks from a guy online. I put the motor, well, I cut the top out of it, as you can see. I put this motor in that tub, filled it up with water. I fired this motor up on the 3rd pull. It started right up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I've taken the boat out several times since I did this modification. It works. I mean, it works. If you ever want to try something like this with these old outboards, don't never throw these motors away. They work. They work. In my opinion, they work better than a lot of the newer motors that they have out now because of the technology. As you see, this is just basic, cut and dry. Just like a lawnmower. It's basic. It has 2 spark plugs, which most lawnmowers have 1 spark plug. Real simple hookup. You got the flywheel right here. This stuff is really hard to find. That's why you want to take care of it. But when they made these motors years ago, they really, really made them solid where they just stand up. I mean, it's all original paint. Prop. I painted the prop black because it had like a really ugly look to it, I guess, from sitting in the garage for years. And check this out. You can still see the serial numbers. I can zoom in there where you can see it. You can still see the serial numbers. They're a little blurry, and I'm really sorry for that. Really blurry, but everything is original. I mean, everything is unbelievable. Look at the handle. Old handle. It's all original. I mean, to have something like this is just really nice, knowing that it works. And I set this old evrinrude on the back of my 14-foot John boat. And it works very good. And as you can see, these are the symbols that came with it when the motor was made years ago. Very, very nice. Very nice. Again, the motor runs exceptionally good. 10 horse